What's good, Willow? Hey, look at that silver sniper. See, I told you it'd be Friday. I told you it would be Friday. Allie's got the silver one as well. Let's go. Let's go. Unable to add stream marker. All right, whatever that means. Whatever that means. Oh, I meant to promote, and then I don't promote all that much, but really only to my students. I mean, you know, it's the same time every week, every day. Monday and Fridays are at the same time, and Tuesday and Wednesday is at the same time as well. So, you know. And I'm sure we'll have more people come on as the stream progresses. But you know, out of all the times that I've been viral, out of all the times I've had more than 10, 20,000 impressions on Twitter, it's always because of others, not because of me. It's when other people comment, it's when other people promote, you know, when other people contribute that have large followings. That's how you taproot. You taproot into other, you know, not organizations, but like other people's followers. And that's how it's easy to build your own. So, well, building by yourself is hard. It's hard. Man, there's this girl that I forget her name. It's like, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, she got famous 250, maybe 275,000 followers on Instagram. She was I don't know if she's a nurse or what, but she wears scrubs and she dances, you know, to like music and stuff. And, you know, she went viral. But, you know, how do people go viral? It's because of what we all do. What do we all do? We watch something either funny or entertaining, and then we do what? We either like it or we like it and we share it. We send it to a friend. Hey, look at this. Hey, look at that. So that's how you go viral, is by having other people share your content, and it compounds. Okay. So it's the same with everything else. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, doesn't matter. TikTok especially, you know. So, you know, I can promote myself, but we're not going to get hundreds of people on here until we actually have dozens and dozens of people promoting and all that. So, but we won't I won't just talk about that the whole time. Willow's got the desert boonie. You got the desert boonie. Let me see. Send me a picture on Twitter. I want to see it. I want to see it. I've also linked the boonie hat on my story on Instagram, my Instagram story, and then also if you look in the description of the live session right now, in the somewhere in the description, there's a boonie hat. There's a link to the Amazon store. It's like $14, 14 or $15. So, you know, if y'all want to rock it, you can. You can get a different color if you want. Now, I don't just wear this for like YouTube and stuff. I actually wear this when I go outside to read as well, because it helps keep the sunlight out, you know, of your eyes. So it kind of, you know, has dual purpose there, in case you were wondering. Got the green shirt on as well. I'm trying to look, you know, like a sniper almost, just without the ghillie suit. I have a ghillie suit, so we might put that on one day. I'll tell you what. The day we have over 100 viewers consistently. I'll put on the ghillie suit the following stream. Full suit. Pants, not that you'll see, but the top and then the cover as well. So I'll do it, but we got to have over 100 viewers. It's good, Nicholas. Got the silver one as well. A bunch of you should have the silver one at this point. Let me double check that real quick too while we wait here at the beginning of the afternoon session. I'll discuss what I did today, what I missed, and then we'll go from there. So it probably won't be a long stream though. It'll probably be an hour. It'll probably be an hour, maybe less. Maybe less. Let me see. Let me see. Oh yeah, so all the people who joined, I think the second day or the third day after we launched, because now it doesn't tell me, it just says 1 month. So Mia, Andreas, Ali, Nicholas, Willow, Paula, Naruto are all silver. And then coming up, there's a few more that'll be silver as well. So let me ask you guys this. On my end, it says optional. I think, oh, fuck, I don't remember. So it says new member, that's the bronze one. And then it says after 1 month, optional with silver. So are you guys allowed to change it back from silver to the bronze? Are you guys allowed to do that? I don't know why you would want to, but if it's optional, you should let me know. Tagged you in my Instagram story? All right, well, let's take a look. Oh, shit, nice. Very nice. Is that one that you were issued? Or did you buy that one? We in the Navy, we had our regular, I think 8-point covers or 6-point. It's either 6 or 8, I can't remember. And then we also had command ball caps as well, like baseball hats, which was a little strange, but we made it work. But I was never issued like a boonie or a bucket hat. Straight off Paris Island. We wore those in the field and on humps. Oh, okay, makes sense then. All right, so let's get into it now that we're almost 10 minutes into it. The idea, and this is what I shared on Twitter as well, with the NASDAQ. So if you zoom out, okay, I actually have this right in here. Okay, so S&P and the Dow both took the high from Thursday. Okay, and yesterday we had earnings as well. It was Amazon and maybe someone else. I don't remember. But we end up not trading higher for the NASDAQ. So we started to break down. Okay, so I mentioned that on Twitter. And if you go to a 1-minute chart, this was something that I taught last night. Okay. So this looks kind of shitty. I'll be honest. It looks kind of shitty, but these two down candles right there. Boom. Okay. So that ends up being a mitigation. Me personally, I took the 5-minute imbalance here. Okay. So I spent a little bit of time in drawdown. I was watching to see if we respect the imbalance. We do. And then that 955 candle. Oh my heavens. That was lovely. This right here was fucking lovely. It was full sprint to my TP was 13,160. That's what I wanted. So we ended up going down to like the 13,190s, and I went, okay, this is great. And the rest of it. So on the way up, it was like right in here. Like right in here. I ended up taking partials and then stop even or break even, excuse me, on the other half. So I took half off here, thinking that the other half would come off here, and I was wrong. So it is what it is. But I'll tell you what I got wrong. I'll tell you what I missed. So that way, hopefully you don't do the same thing. So, and it has to deal with the fucking dollar index. And you guys already know how I feel about that with the intermarket relationship with the indices and with the dollar index, but we'll talk about it. So in hindsight, entry at 12 or 13,260. Okay, just an even number, 260, nothing crazy. Stop was at this high at 293, and then targeting a 1 to 3, that 160 level. Give me a second here. Never wants to put it on the dot for me. There's 160, so there's your 1 to 3. Okay, so 1 to 3, not bad, and that's with a pretty loose stop. That's with a stop at the high. I could have framed it a little bit tighter, but you know, I taught a model last night. I kept it, you know, just how I taught the model. So, you know, there's that. So we end up going about 2/3 of the way there. Now, this is what should have taken place. Okay. A new low should have been a partial. Okay. But it ends up, I mean, this is a 1 minute time frame. So it starts screaming lower. So in reality, you know, what I should have done, in this part is hindsight, what I should have done is a new low here. Now, I didn't do that because the market moves so fast. I thought it was going to gun for 160, so I held the full position. Now, on the way up, I ended up getting out of half, and I'll tell you why, because I usually don't do that. I usually try not to get out of a short on the way up because that's not advantageous, but let me tell you why. Okay. In here, if you look at the other indices, you're going to notice that they had a bearish setup and it ended up not being respected. So if the other indices are no longer bearish, then if they go higher, the NASDAQ's going to get dragged with it. And that's pretty much what we saw. Okay. So, you know, for those people who are like, oh, just take your trade and walk away. This is where I get to, you know, prove that people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So when it comes to trade management, all right, so check this out. This was around 1018 to 1028, okay? It was the S&P as well as the Dow. Okay, so watch this. You had a bearish setup here. Okay, now the market is obviously bullish, but this setup in particular is bearish. Okay, so watch this. You have a mitigation here, and then within that, you actually have an old gap as well. So you had this big ass imbalance, but you also have this old gap right here. So this is what I started watching, this right there. Okay. So that was like essentially trade management for NASDAQ, watching the Dow as well as the S&P. So I'm going, okay, we spent a lot of time here. And if we are bullish, I don't want to hold that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hold a short if we're bullish. So when we started to no longer look that way, okay, S&P, same thing. Here's a, and this isn't a mitigation either because we have a lower high here. So you see how it doesn't really look bearish in here. It just spends a little bit of time there, but doesn't react aggressively. Okay. So the NASDAQ was much lower, but since the other two are not bearish, the other two are bullish, the NASDAQ's going to go with it. Okay. So I took partials to get something and then held the rest just in case I was wrong in the interpretation. And if the original idea would still pan out, then I would still be able to capture that. So that was the justification for that. So still had a 1 to 3 setup, still went, you know, to a new low, actually 2 new lows if you include this one here. So there was opportunity. Okay, there was opportunity to take something out of the market here, even though on the day I was wrong. So it's actually not bad. When you're able to help grow an account, even when you're wrong, you know, that's pretty cool, if you ask me. So what do we do from here? Well, we're not trading lower, then we might as well trade higher. Okay, so there's this morning's low. Anyone who was short, you know, even like me, but not that I have an open stop here, but if I was still short from here and my stop was right here, I'd be fucking nervous right now. I would be fucking nervous right now. So I'm pretty sure this is going to trade higher. So we've got our afternoon session, we've got our final hour. The only way I would believe 13,160 is still on the table is if we start just massively gunning lower. But it just doesn't look that way. So S&P trading higher. It actually came back into this gap here from Thursday's close to Thursday's like open, that hour that the market doesn't trade every day. Created that gap. So we ended up trading like back into it a few times in the evening time, and then London traded lower. And then so we rallied through that and actually back into it. So we ended up rallying off of that. So, you know, seeing that rally off of that, these are highs that are not like high resistant highs. These are low resistant highs. So again, if the S&P is bullish, if the Dow is bullish, I don't want to hold a short on NASDAQ. So, you know, anyone, here's the idea, okay? If I shorted this, the market took a shit, made a new low, and I just held the full position and broke even, that sucks. But due to trade management, watching the dollar index, watching the other indices, I was able to get something out of the market and then break even on the rest. So I still pulled something out. So, you know, again, I will continue to negate that idea. That whole theory of take the trade and walk away. I will continue to negate that idea every fucking week. Every week I will prove that bullshit wrong. Now, of course, I'll get it wrong sometimes, and where I'll, you know, might break even and then it goes my direction. And the idea that holding a trade and letting it run, that would in itself, you know, pan out, of course. But I think it would pan out less than it would by actually managing your trades properly. So do what you want with that information. All right. The 10.05, we'll go take a look at the dollar index as well. 10.05. Oh, it's actually down here. Okay, let's back up for a minute. If we take a look at the dollar index, okay, it was at 7 o'clock, and there was some news this morning as well. I think it wasn't level 3 news though. But you have a high right here, and then you have another high right there as well. So two highs close together at 102.12. Love seeing your tweets, and all them people do is run and hide when you call it out. Yeah. I mean, people don't want to be outshined either, you know? So there's always that. That's why they don't interact with those tweets. Even though, like, a lot of the times I'll tweet near the high or near the low, and then I'll post it. I'll post the before and after, like the tweet of, hey, down here I called it higher, and then it went higher, and then I, you know, tweeted a smiley face or something. Like, those usually get like really low engagement, which in my opinion should get the highest engagement. But, you know, people are fucking toxic, so they'll be like, oh, that's fucking cool, and then they won't like it or retweet it because, well, they didn't call it, and they want to be the ones to look good, right? They've got a fucking course to push and a paid Discord to push and everything else, so they don't want to be outshined, right? But anyway, so the idea here, and you'll see the inverse of this on the euro. So we have a high, a low, a higher high. Okay, so that sets up, and then a beautiful break of structure on the downside. That's aggressive, right? Obvious, or the word I like to use, conviction. Then we trade, so right there at 9 o'clock, we trade right back up and into that mitigation. And then it absolutely takes a dump. So I still think it has a little bit more room to go lower today. We have the 101.25 or 28, something like that. 101.28. Okay. Happens to be some not equal lows, but low resistant lows. So, I mean, it's only 12.20. I think we'd have to give this some time, but I'm pretty convinced that that could be hit today. So, this was 9 o'clock indices dump, or excuse me, 9 o'clock dollar index dumps. And then 9 o'clock, we did rally here and then reversed, but now we're trading higher. So I think with that bearishness on the dollar, I think it helps send indices higher. And I think I said that on Twitter, but I'll say it again here. So there's a little bit of intermarket relationship for you. And not my favorite thing in the world, because it falls in and out of correlation so much that it's laughable, but it's cool. All right, it's cool. So there was still opportunity today. I think other people went long on NASDAQ or the indices today. I didn't. So there is that. There is that. So I want to see that high from this morning taken, right? But can we frame an entry? I don't even know. I don't even know. We have some lows right there too, which I don't know if that's seen across the other indices. Oof. This has just been drifting higher. Oh, that's another thing I was going to tell you. So watch this for next week. Dow Jones ETF on the daily. And I think Ali pointed this out recently as well, or might have been a couple weeks ago. 34,400, if you round up, is basically triple highs on the daily. Is basically triple highs on a daily for the NASDAQ, or Dow Jones, excuse me. So that may be, I mean, the last 2 days have been gunning for that. So I could see next week probably smacking into that. Probably won't happen today. It could, but I think it would rather happen next week. And it looks like the Dow is also rallying off of that mitigation as well. Know what I'm saying? You're watching gold also coiling up. I see the liquidity on both sides. Just a matter of getting more info. Yeah. So I still favor higher gold. Not because I have physical silver, but it's just the weekly highs are too juicy. So Let's look at JP Morgan for a second as well. If you guys remember what I talked about, what did I say after we gapped up? I said I wanted to see us trade back into this and then go higher. We went in there on Wednesday, and now we're trading a little bit higher. So that's pretty cool. Over the next few weeks, I'm still looking for 145 and above. There must be a gap up there too. I have 148 almost. So we'll keep an eye on that. Wells Fargo kind of lagging behind a little bit, back below 40. You know, that's not really what I want or care to see. But at the same time, could be a weekly imbalance as well. So that would be like the final straw for me personally for Wells Fargo. I wouldn't want to see us trade back to like 38s. I think that would be not fun. So we'll see where we close this week. We'll see where today, essentially, we'll see where we close and hopefully above last week's low. So we'll see. Well, again, we'll give this more time, but I think JP Morgan was the better play from down in here. So, you know, it is what it is, but still more upside. So that would be also in alignment with a higher Dow Jones for those triple highs. So there's some alignment for you. I don't even know if JP Morgan is in the Dow. I don't remember all 30 stocks within the Dow Jones. Oh, it is. JP Morgan is within the Dow. So there's your confluence. Low resistant highs on the daily, weekly time frame from JP Morgan. Triple highs on the Dow Jones ETF. So you want to stack probabilities? There you go. There you go. So we're going to take a brief look at the euro as well, which again is just going to be the inverse of the dollar. So what did we talk about on dollar? It took a high, it mitigated, and then it decked lower for some lows. So what do you think the euro is going to do? Low, high, lower low. That 109.64 level is these lows down in here from Tuesday. Okay. So those lows got swept at 7:15 or 7:30, something like that, Central Time. So there was some news at 7:30. It did a little razzle dazzle here, but then afterward, look at that break of structure. That's crispy. Okay, that's fucking crispy right there. You know, look at that, beautiful. Back down, up candle here. Bam. And equal lows on small time frame. Right there. You guys see that? You guys see that? Well, kind of. It's slightly lower. So maybe not. But it digs into that. Okay. Beautiful. Runs. Okay. What's it run for? These highs. Boom. So mitigation there, which is orange, not gray. Mitigation there. Highs right there. That could have been one and done. So around 95s up to 40s. That's about 40, 50 pips on the day right there. 40 to 50 pips. Minus spread, so we'll just round down to 40. We can round down to 40. So 40 pips for a Friday. Not bad. The only problem with that is euro went lower while the British pound was higher. So you would have been trading the laggard on that. It's up to you. But you probably would have been trading the weaker one there. Oh, fuck. When euro was in that mitigation, the British pound was in this down candle right there. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful order flow. Oh my heavens. That went for over 70 pips on that. So, you know, that's pretty clean too. So why am I showing you this? If you got some value so far, drop a like on the video. I greatly appreciate that. If you got some value so far. So why would this at 9 o'clock be a opportunity? Because if the euro, okay, if the euro has a long opportunity, okay, but British pound is stronger, that's why this, like, to me, that's why this worked like very well. Even though you'd be longing after an up move, it's still, you know, there's still going to be room left in the trade on that. There's still going to be opportunity. You know what I mean? So, you know, sometimes we get complicated, right? I'm watching the Dow and the S&P to manage NASDAQ, or, you know, I'm looking at British pound, trying to trade euro, or vice versa, putting an order in on euro, trying to watch British pound. Okay. Now here's my thing. And I canceled this order. It never hit anyway, but what I was looking to do, it rallied, it came back, left highs, and then started to trade lower. So I went, oh shit. I went, this down candle's a buy. It's a buy. So I had an order right there. Stop at this low, gunning for these highs. Okay, which is obviously easily a 1 to 3. Entry on that. Stop at this low. Gunning for this. Oh shit, that's a short. You don't want to short that. Oh, no, no, no. You don't want to short that. What the fuck, man? Okay, there we go. TradingView was fucking trolling me right there. All right, 1 to 3 is right there. And that smacked. Well, to the pip, but and it's only a couple pips above those highs. So that was the idea originally. But again, that never hit. I canceled the order, but that was the idea. Okay? That was the idea. But with that being said, that's pretty much it, man. I personally, I think today's done. I think it's over. I don't think there's anything left to do today. I don't think there's anything left to do. We haven't done anything in like an hour. Barely higher on Dow, a little bit higher on S&P. NASDAQ still not trading above like this morning's high, even though that's what I want. But we also have lows down in here too. So, you know, what can we do with that? I don't know. I don't know. I think it's hard to frame anything long with this. And I'd probably be worried along as well with those lows right there. That's one of my rules, right? The top 10 smart money trading rules. I might do a part 2 to that and add some more, but we'll see. So it's like, okay, well, NASDAQ's our weakest index. So that's rule number 1 that we would break, is longing the weakest index. Number 2, also, if we long, we have equal lows. So we'd be breaking that fucking rule too. So we'd have to break 2 rules in order to take a trade on this. So is that really what you want to do? Is that what you want to do? You want to break some rules? Now, if this was middle school or high school, I'd be all for it. I'd be like, yeah, fuck the rules. But in trading, nah. That's a different ball game. Because high school, middle school, that shit doesn't matter. But trading matters. Know what I'm saying? Great Friday afternoon to hit the journal and do something else. I agree. I didn't journal yesterday, so I gotta catch up on that. Not the Daily Stoic journal. I didn't. The other like regular journal and trade management I did, but not for the Daily Stoics. I gotta double up today. I mean, it's not a lot. It takes like 5 or 6 minutes. So, but yeah, we'll catch up on that. Discipline equals freedom. Yeah. You know, I said this on Twitter. I took what I could get. Now I switched over to paper because I don't want to. Oh my God. One of the worst things I do, I hate this with everything within me. I hate taking a loss going into the weekend, bro. I don't know about you guys, but I hate taking a loss right before Friday's close, heading into the weekend, man. That shit is the worst. Honestly, that shit is the worst. Because you're just like, fuck, man. You're just like rats. All right, so let's see. Now 1 minute looks like doo-doo, as does the S&P. Matter of fact, did we just create equal highs on the S&P? This price action is so fucking sloppy, I can barely even tell. Yeah. Yeah, we did. At least on a small time frame. All right. So if we, oh yeah, we might gun for these lows here in a minute. So that could be a mitigation here momentarily. Now again, full disclosure, I have switched to paper. Okay, I have switched to a paper account. Friday's typically my worst day anyway. Now we're in the afternoon session. There's only a little less than 2.5 hours left of the day. I'm obviously, I started the day off wrong, apparently. So if I'm not in tune with the market, then that's not when you want to go hard, you know? But I think those lows are primed. I think those lows are primed. What do you guys think? Oh, we're getting some volatility now, finally. But finally. Then you gotta sit on that L for like 2 days. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay. Well, so it traded below that, and now it traded immediately back into it. So that's kind of shitty, to be honest with you. To be honest with you. Honestly, I don't even think I want to paper this. It broke that low and then immediately trades up into this. Ugh. Yuck. Yuck. All right, I'm going to take that off. Look at that 5-minute reaction. Ugh. Yuck. I mean, one could almost argue that this is a mitigation here. just because you have a low, high, lower, low. But these are, that looks too much like retail support for me to trust that that would be a low. So, ugh. Gross. I think it looks gross either way. So let's imagine for a second that we didn't have a stream on Friday and it was just me here in my account and I'm chilling. I would log out and go to the grocery store, just like Willow said, and just walk away. I mean, personally, I think it looks like shit. I think the opportunity, again, was from this morning on the NASDAQ, as well as either the British pound or euro. So there was already like at least one or two opportunities today. And that should be enough for Friday. You trying to push it on a Friday, I don't suggest that. You know what I mean? Friday's the worst day for me to push like the pedal to the metal, meaning like full risk, you know, all that shit. Friday's probably not the day to do it. And especially today. We started to get a little bit of volatility, but it just came right back up again. So it's not looking too crispy. Not looking too crispy. So I'd want to walk away if it was me. What do you guys think? You guys agree? Or do you guys disagree? You guys think it's clean? $41.80. It's got to be like 85 and a half or 85.75. Okay, so that's going to be equal highs for the S&P on a 1 minute time frame. So I would keep that in the back of your mind as well. Dow lower. And NASDAQ slightly lower, but I don't think the highs are at the same time. So, yeah. We could frame something lower for NASDAQ, but we could frame something higher for S&P. So, what do you do with that? What do you do with that? I agree, Willow. Iced coffee and go read in the park. Oh, you know what? That sounds really good, actually. Iced coffee and a read in the park. Only we don't have a park here. I mean, we have one that's like far away, but we do have like a town center, like a boardwalk. So we have like a Torchy's Tacos. There's a lake. You know, so I might do that. And they have obviously coffee there too, so I might do that. But it's hot as shit outside. It's 79 right now, so I may just end up going to the grocery store so I can read in the comfortability of air conditioning. Know what I'm saying? Let me go back to the 5 minute. Yeah, this doesn't look good. Try and squeeze everything on here. Doesn't look good. It's raining and my goodness. Inside days for Willow. Allie, where are you from? Is it hot over there? I mean, 79 is not bad, but it's that sun that beams on you. I'll be outside for like 5 minutes and I'll be like, no, fuck this. The Naval Academy? Nah. Nah. I've been to the boot camp in Chicago in January. So, what you're saying, Willow, you live in Chicago or a different? Where do you live, bro? Oh, Maryland. Okay, Maryland. That makes sense then. I was gonna say because if you live in Chicago, I was gonna have something to say, but you're not from there, so it's cool. There's a few places here in the states that are fucking ridiculous, and Chicago's one of them. Not that I need to tell you because everyone already knows that. Well, I won't go back, dude. I will never go back to Chicago. I was there for boot camp and that's it. But I would never go to I really don't want to go to New York either. I mean, I will go. I just don't want to. New York is fucking wild. I just have no reason to go. Excuse me, I just have no reason to go. Nothing special about New York City. It takes forever to get anywhere and too many people. There's too many fucking rats, too. Dude, I heard, not that I wanted to get political on you guys, but I heard from some headline in a little short video, they hired some lady at like 100,000 or 200,000 a year, and her job is to like get rid of all the rats in the city. See, she's doing the Lord's work, man. Getting rid of the rodents. Shit, they had to pay her fucking $250,000 a year. They had to pay her more. That's my opinion. Here I go yawning again, bro. I only yawn when I'm on stream with you guys. When I'm not on stream, like I don't yawn at all. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, guys, I can tell we're not gonna be here the whole afternoon. There's just no way. There's just no way. I think all of our time is gonna be better spent elsewhere. The dollar hasn't done anything the last couple of hours as well. All the moves happened this morning, man. Now it's just over. Everything's done. Done. So Willow, since you're pretty much the only member here, I think. Well, I mean, Ali's here too. I don't know if Vadu's still here or Nicholas, but who do you guys think is going to be the next member? Because that's what I'm wondering. Matter of fact, let me see if we can get another emoji. I don't know if we can. Okay, we can get another emoji when we get 8 more members. When we get 8 more members. Oh shit, I forgot about this one thing too. I'll put that up there. Bam. If you look at the bottom right above the social medias, we have our member goal. So it's actually higher than 22 right now. But when I made that the other day, that's where we're actually at 23. So we have 23. Our next goal is 50. So we're almost halfway there. I believe we can make it happen. I believe we can make it happen. I'm going to pull up the S&P over here as well. Should be Mason. Where's Mason at? Get him on here. Get him on here. Can you choose which emoji it is, or is it automatically? Are you talking about the sniper or the emoji? Or reaction, I guess it's called. Like, I can choose whatever. So the ones that I really wanted, like the good vibes, the chef's kiss and all that, I thought was going to be bigger. That shit is small. So I took a lot of those away, and then I just made like actual emojis, like from Canva, the LOL, the rip, the diamond or the gems, and the wave, because it's easier to see in the chat. It just looks better. The other ones are too small. Well, the 200 IQ one is okay, but everything else is like too small, and I don't like that. So I wanted to make my own, but it's cool. You know, it is what it is. When the next emoji is added. Yeah, the next one is going to be available after we get 8 more members. So we'll need, I think, 31. 23 plus 8, I guess, is 31. We can add a 10th emoji. Dude, this looks like complete dog shit. I said this last Friday too. I was like, dude, we might just start scratching the Friday sessions because it's always like the morning has the action and then the afternoon is dull. So, you know, we could have caught this shit together instead of just watching it do nothing. But I don't stream that early in the morning, bro. This looks so terrible. This looks so terrible. Anyway, let's see where we're at on let's see where we're at on Twitter. Oh, we did get 1800. I was just at 1700 the other day. I'm at 1819 on Twitter. So you guys remember how, oh my god, this is going to be fucking awesome. You guys remember how I told you in order to build like your social media that you got to like start some shit? I want you to look at this, okay? If you go to my Twitter, while I still have you here, go to my tweets, go to my post where I reposted Jordan F stock trader, okay? Let me tell you the engagement on my 4 previous tweets. 1400, 900, 400, 500. I repost Jordan, I talk shit, 22,000. I post a selfie, 1,800. I post NASDAQ failing to take yesterday's high, 300 engagement. So I get 10 to 20 times the engagement when I talk shit. Think about that. 10 to 20x engagement when you talk shit. So imagine if I talk shit every single post, right? I would get much more engagement, right? But I just think that's so just ass backwards. It's ass backwards. It's talking shit gets you this much, calling trades gets you this much. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, it's not skill based. Like building social media is not skill based, it's engagement based. It's attention based. And I just think that is morally ass backwards. You know? And YouTube's the same way. I just wish it wasn't like that. But I explained that to you last week or the week before that. Remember? And it's right there on Twitter. Because Twitter, you guys can see engagement, right? Yeah, you can see other people's engagement or interactions, whatever the fucking word is. And you can see it. Only a couple hundred here and there, and then boom, you talk shit, you get fucking 20,000 or 30,000 when I posted my book the other day. That's just wild, bro. It really is. The post that I think is going to do well, they don't do well. And then the post that I don't think is going to do well, they fucking explode. It's like, damn, man. But this is the world we live in. All right. So we've been here about an hour. And we've done a whole lot of nothing. So I'm very tempted to hop off here. I did say we'd only be here an hour. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think that is what we're going to do. I wish there was a way to do like votes. I don't know how to do votes in the chat. Oh, we can. Oh, let's do this. Let's see. There's your poll. I know there's only like 12 of you here. We had like 40 the other day. We only have like 12 here today. But there's your poll. Should we stay or should we walk away? What do you guys think? Stay or walk away? 2 votes for stay, 2 for walk away. Oh, 3 for stay, 2 for walk away. Okay. Dude, we got to run more polls now. Why did I not see that before? We could have Q&A and the poll. Dude, that's sick. That's pretty sick. Six for stay, 2 for walk away. You guys want to stay here, huh? Ooh. All right, so now that we're trading here, watch the equal highs for the S&P and watch for this morning's high on NASDAQ. Let's do this. It's a 2-minute imbalance right there. If we trade back into it, maybe rally into that. But, you know, where the fuck is 1 o'clock? 1 o'clock is... Ooh. Ooh. If you look at the Dow, I'll show you in a minute. I want to see if this 2-minute imbalance plays out for the S&P. We're going to see. So 9 votes. Most said stay. Yeah, Willow. I mean, look, it's all good, man. You can walk away. First idea, that's what we should do. We'll wait. We'll give it a minute. Oh, there's the morning session high for NASDAQ. There's that. But we don't have the highs just yet on the S&P. Not yet. Not yet. It's such a small time frame, though, and such a small setup. I'll press paper buttons, but I'm not taking this live. I mean, that's like what, 4 points, if that, from This imbalance to those highs is like 4 points. I don't know if that's enough. We'd probably have to extend it higher for some sort of target. We'll come back. The only thing I was looking for on this other screen, when the Dow was rallying, look at our low. This little gap right here ends up being our low, which is interesting. So you have some lows here. Market takes that and rebalances price, and then boom, we've rallied from there. That's pretty interesting. That is pretty interesting. Just something to look at, but nothing, you know, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Dude, you talk about video games. I really want to have some streams on here, like playing Counter-Strike. I was playing a little bit yesterday. Counter-Strike's pretty fun. But, you know, the only bad part about Counter-Strike is people can vote kick you, which is retarded. I got vote kicked yesterday. So it's a 2-on-1, right? I'm T side, and the guy has bomb at A, right? So it's a 2-on-1. One guy's at A, you know, A bomb site, and me and him are together running towards A. I've got an op, dude has an M4. So I start shooting at the guy, I miss. Our guy goes all the way around to B, plants. I thought the guy was still at A, and then immediately after he plants, the guy dies. And then I'm like, oh shit, I'm still at A. So the bomb got defused, right? And then like they vote kicked me. And I'm just like, bro, it's a 2-on-1. Why did you go all the way back to B? That was fucking retarded. All right. Again, this is strictly paper, okay? Strictly paper. 141.78. I'm not even fucking ready to press buttons. We do 86. Yeah, I'll just buy 5. This is a paper account, okay? Not trade advice, not financial advice. I just want to see if that 2-minute order flow respects. Actually, we'll fucking bump that. I just want to see if that gets respected, okay? And so, yeah, guy defuses the bomb, and then instantly they're like, oh, vote kick. And I get kicked. And I'm just like, bro, that is so stupid. The guy avoids the 2-on-1 and instead takes the 1-on-1 and loses, but it's my fault. So I'm just like, bro, it's so stupid. So the reason that the stop is there is because if that's a true imbalance, then it shouldn't trade down to that. So it would be allowed to trade like back into this, but I wouldn't want to see it go to that low, then because then I would just be wrong about the imbalance, and that's okay. But the risk reward on this is ass water, and I would not take that live at all. But since we're here, I'll press some paper buttons. It's cool. Actually, we're going to take the labels off as well. Ooh, look at that. It fucking sank right in there. So if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. And if it does hit my stop, I'll be glad I didn't take it live. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, continuing on to my story, I get booted. And the crazy part is, it's like, bro, I have like more kills than half the team. So it's like they would rather boot like one of their good players, you know? It's just retarded. It's just retarded. Let me take a look at the 1 minute. Yeah, that 1 minute doesn't look good. So this will probably be stopped here. What's that, 78? Yeah, this will probably be stopped here. Well, there's your stop. So I was wrong about the 2 minute imbalance. Oh, you know what? We may actually leave those behind a little bit. So if you've been watching, the Nasdaq took that morning's low, or excuse me, high. It took the morning's high. The S&P did not trade above the equal highs. So if we actually switch back over to the Nasdaq, see that? So if those lows are still on the table, so let's pretend for a minute that was a real account and that was a real trade, and I took a small loss on that. I would go, okay, we have like one more opportunity on the day to probably get that loss back. Okay. If it was me, I'd go, all right, these lows are still on the table. The 12,236. I don't think it's bearish enough, but if it continues, 13,168 could still be on the table. I personally think that's a long shot. I think it's a long shot. Low probability, but not impossible. So at this point, I would go, okay, well, maybe they manipulated this high. Okay. And maybe it wants to trade below these lows. But I would need to see a more convincing move on the 5 minute here in order to believe with higher probability that this would be taken. That's kind of what I'm looking for. That makes sense? And it might sound like a revenge trade, but it's not. Because we were already looking for those lows to begin with. We would need to see, let me see. 250, I think that's this one. So if we end up trading below this low, oh, what the fuck? Can you guys still hear me? My computer keeps doing that shit. Can we get a sound check real quick, please? Audio's good? Okay. So there's your final completion. 66% said stay, 33% said walk away. All right. So we may leave those highs here. Okay, so there's the executions. Let me see, 82 to 78 is about 4 points, maybe 5 if you include the rest of it. Okay. Small loss on the paper account. Small loss on the paper account. Which is cool. Buffering. Ain't shit buffering, YouTube. Potential imbalance on there. But it's hard to short when there's equal highs, so just be careful. I'm gonna watch this. So look, again, I'm gonna say this again, or in case you just came on here. I am not trading on a live account today. I am done for the week. I've already logged out of everything except a paper account. Okay, so even if we come in here and we fuck it up, there's no monetary loss. Okay, I think this afternoon looks like complete shit, and I would not want to trade this on a live account. This morning was fresh. Like this shit right here was fresh. Okay, but the rest of this, I'm not digging it, bro. I'm not digging it. So again, even if we come on here and we short when there's equal highs and it gets stopped out, like that's only gonna further solidify the rules I've already given you, not to short when there's equal highs. So the S&P is coming back a little bit. The NASDAQ has surpassed that imbalance on a 2-minute time frame, so obviously that's not going to be bearish. Well, at least from like right there. Yeah, if you look at a 15-minute time frame, everything here looks fucking horrible. Horrible. So we shall wait and see. All right, again, I'm going to take this off of here because I'm not rocking with it. The Dow is leaving so many gaps everywhere. It's disgusting. Dollar's still not doing anything with conviction. It's only drifting higher. From like 101.50 to 101.60. That's crazy. Stopped out near the low. That's a shame. That's a shame. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I tell you what, I will give this at max another 20 minutes. So we'll go until about 1:45. And then I'm going to call it a day because we could have probably knocked out 20, 30 pages of a book by now in the last, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. We could have done some more productive shit today. Unless we start getting some actual nice moves. Let's see, so a minute and a half left on this 5-minute candle. So let's see if we start getting some expansion lower. Maybe that imbalance, maybe that did work right there. I mean, on a 2-minute. I mean, I wouldn't put too much faith into a 2-minute chart, but I mean, at least showed a reaction. But it's spending a lot of time here. Look at this. From our afternoon session start at 12 to where we are now. Look what it's done. Barely anything. So you see why that was stopped out here? It's a market that's not doing anything. So if anything, I've demonstrated low probability conditions. So hopefully you can appreciate that. Consolidating markets, dollars not doing anything, indices aren't doing anything, low probability conditions. And it's Friday, so hopefully I've made that case for you. So sometimes you got to learn what a good setup looks like and when one is not looking good. Bro, I fucking hate when TradingView does that. I'm trying to look at my TradingView over here, and every time I pull up the tab, it like disappears, and that's really irritating. And I don't know how to fix that. I don't even know why it does that. I think that's the computer, but if you look at the indices, if you look at all three together, if you compare all three together, they look like doo-doo. And it just doesn't look clear. I'm going to take a look at a couple more things as well. Yeah, even the ETFs, like, ain't looking too good. Sitting on them hands, I agree. I agree. We'll give it like 15 more minutes, and then we're going to call it a fucking wrap. We're going to call it a wrap. If I was trading this live right now, like if I was forced to sit here at my desk and find a setup, I would be so irritated right now. I would be miserable, dude. I would be miserable right now. Are those equal lows on the S&P? Hold on a minute, chat. Hold on a minute. Are those lows? Oh my. Oh my. Did we do that? Chat, did we try to fucking long with equal lows? No wonder that shit didn't work. No wonder that shit didn't work. Lows here, highs here. Oh man. See what happens when you miss easy shit? When you miss simple shit like that? You get chopped. You get chopped, chat. You get chopped. So look at that. Learning without being hurt monetarily. Because I can tell you exactly the math on this. 41.82 and 3/4 to 41.78. Okay, so 78. 79, 80, 81, 82, and then 2 ticks. So that's 4 points and 2 ticks. So that's 4 points and 4.25 points. Now at 5 contracts, that's $25 a point. So it'd be 425 times $25 a contract. I mean, $25 per point. So that right there, in the span of 4 minutes, okay, roughly, would have been about a $106 loss in only a few minutes, okay? That would have been roughly a $100 loss. And then this probably would be a couple more dollars in commission, so probably like 110, I'm assuming. So we avoided $107, $110 loss by switching to paper. And now those lows are getting ready to get smacked. NASDAQ still not doing anything. Dow slightly lower. Slightly lower. So again, I personally, if it was me, I would be more concerned with shorts on NASDAQ than the others. And then now the case is being made for equal highs here, so now we don't want to short S&P. So again, conditions, low probability, pressing buttons on a real account, not good for this afternoon. And the fact that I didn't see these equal lows here either, that's a problem. That's a problem. So if anything today, you've learned that if you think you're going to fuck it up, you're probably going to fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? So that should be a good lesson for you. Not the greatest lesson in the world, but you know, the trading is not just finding a setup. There's a lot that goes into this. And, you know, it might be boring. It's been an hour and a half and there really hasn't been like nothing crazy going on. But these lessons are good for you. Even though they're super boring. I can agree they're super boring, but they're necessary. They're necessary. Did we take that on ES or did we mess around and make triple lows? Oh my heavens. Triple lows on the S&P. Okay. I mean, even the equal lows by himself would be high probability. Look at that. Is that some shit that you want to see? Is that the type of price action you want to see? Triple lows and equal highs. So we're going to cut it here shortly, but to me, obviously we have to see where we go from here because it could lead those triple highs here and or triple lows and then rally, but I don't know what it's going to do here. If anything, I think the last hour is going to say something. I think the last hour is going to have some volatility. I think if traders have been trying to short this market and they're getting frustrated, then we may see a rally one more time. If not, it just may come down here and end up taking these. Anyone who's been long and the market consolidates, they're going to have orders on both sides. They're going to have orders down here. They're going to go, oh man, I hope it keeps going. But if it doesn't, I'm at my stop right here. So that's probably a justification for that trading lower. anyone who's been trying to short probably has stops here, buy stops here. So, you know, I could see us taking these lows and then running for the highs. But every set of equal lows does not guarantee a reversal. So there's that dip now below the lows. So we'll see how we react from there. Let's go to the NASDAQ here for a minute. So still within consolidation. Dow slightly lower. S&P slightly lower. Ooh, yuck. I think it's hard to make the case either way. Yeah, it's like so mixed. It's crazy. Crazy times. So we'll be here maybe 10 more minutes and then we're gonna let this thing go. Now, if you want to watch the final hour, you can. I think there's gonna be opportunity within that, but I don't want to be here forever. But I usually try to leave you guys with something to look for. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. But I've already told you my thoughts. I think today's horrendous. I want to go to the store. So if we react nicely off these lows here, could be a stop run. If that is a stop run, then we trade higher. But me personally, I wouldn't just buy below this low. I wouldn't want to just buy it here. I mean, what would be the stop on it? You know what I mean? Maybe this low. But if this thing sinks lower, then the chances of it being a stop run is unlikely. So just gonna have to wait. I mean, it's sort of making this big bull flag as well. The fucking NASDAQ. I think if it was me, if I was a gambling man, which I'm not, if I was a gambling man, I would say lower NASDAQ. So I'll stick to my original idea from this morning. But it's really hard to make that case here. I'm going to stick to the idea, but it's hard to frame a short here. I mean, unless we go down to like microstructure, but look at this shit. Lower highs, higher lows. And I'm not the biggest fan of structure. I'm not the greatest teacher of structure either. Because that shit gets complicated, and personally I think some people overdo it or put too much emphasis into it. But if I had to say, I'd be bearish. So let's argue this for a minute here. We'll give it 5 more minutes. Let's argue this for a minute. We can be bearish, right? But then what's the risk framed here? If we just shorted it, what's the risk here? Probably this high? Why is that a problem? Because if we short it with a stop at this high, The S&P equivalent is equal highs. That is not a 200 IQ play. That's not a 200 IQ play. Now, if you believed retail was fixing to get fucking bodied here, then maybe you could short. If you feel like retail is going to get massacred here, then sure. But the equal highs on the S&P to me is negating that idea. Even if this thing pans out, even if this thing takes a massive dump lower, it's to me, it's not high probability. What do you think, Willow? You think we short it on paper anyway? Or do you think we just leave it alone? I mean, it doesn't matter if it's paper. We're not going to be hurt monetarily. We're either going to be right or we're going to be wrong. But look at this. Higher lows and lower highs heading into the final hour. If we do short the indices, NASDAQ is our weakest, so that would be the one to most likely short. Let me do one more poll real quick. All right, let's ask the community. There's 17 of you real quick. So let's press paper buttons. Are we going to short or log off? Oh, it just traded into that gap too. Short or log off? What's the play? Short or log off? You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to short at the market with a stop at this high, even though that's silly because of the S&P. Whatever that high is, 13,295. TP 13,230. Okay, so let me tell you. Okay, let me tell you. Just so this is in the recording. Okay, this right here to me is a gamble. This to me is not high probability. Okay, at all. It's not really giving too much evidence in my opinion. And the S&P having equal highs, I wouldn't take this on a real account. But if I feel like this is our weakest index, if I feel like they're forming this big flag to fucking body it lower, then that's what I'm anticipating. So I'll short it because that's my idea. But I wouldn't, if even if this wins, I wouldn't flaunt that at all. At all. Because again, I believe this right here is a fucking gamble. Okay? So I'm just going to leave that here. And I'm going to log off. And then at 255, we'll see what happens. Either it's going to come up and it'll get stopped out, or it may come down to hit TP, or it may just consolidate for the rest of the fucking day. Okay? We got some more viewers on here. Guys, please understand, do not take this trade. Okay? Do not take this trade. I just want to see what happens. I just want to see if I'm right. There's no other reason than that. There's no other reason than that. Okay? With the S&P having equal highs, that negates this idea. Okay? On a real account, that negates this idea. This is just to see if I'm right, just for studying purposes. Do not press buttons on a live account. Okay. Got my calculator there. And since we're going to leave, I will leave you with this. We usually do alerts, right? Alert at 13,235. Alert at whatever that low is, 13,257. You could put an alert at the stop up here as well, 13,295. For the S&P, you can have an alert at 4186. Right? Or that might be 85 and 3/4. 4185 and 3/4. For the Dow, ooh, who fucking knows? All right. Fuck the Dow. No alerts on the Dow, okay? So that's what I'll leave you with today. So there's your alerts. Do not press buttons on a live account. Okay? This is a gamble. This is a fucking coin flip, 50-50 heads or tails. All right? So that's why I can't stress that enough to not take this live. All right? So be blessed. Have a good weekend. We'll see what happens. Be back here on Monday, 12 o'clock Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern. Be blessed, Willow. Be blessed, everyone, or everyone else. Appreciate you guys for being here. I will see you next week. Be good.